Well, I think that the problem with the current assets declaration regime is well known. The lack of transparency in the whole process is a major reason why that system is not working effectively. And so we are promising to review the law on asset declaration so that it is transparent for the public to see what is contained in the declarations of public officials enjoying to declare their assets. We don't think that it should be confidential. It should only be something that the Auditor General is privy to. But we think that it should be transparent and open for anyone who wants to know what is contained in the declaration of assets of any public officer to be able to do so. But you see, on the issue of good governance and the need for us to combat corruption, we
Sammy,
have
do you mind
more
terribly? Hello, Sammy. So sorry to cut
revolutionary.
in. Sammy, so sorry to cut in, but if you don't mind terribly, if we could settle on the issue of the asset declaration, then we go general into governance. You've said that you think it should be more transparent. There have been some calls, for example, for every government official to publish their assets, to have their assets published in the national dailies and on websites so that we can all make reference to them. Would the NDC back such an amendment to the law?
Exactly. That's exactly what we are promising. And that is exactly what we will do when given the opportunity.
Right. And if any government appointee affected by this law fails to do so by the stipulated time, that person will be removed from office?
So the problems are twofold: transparency and, or if I can put it this way, the lack of transparency and the lack of enforcement, okay, of the non-compliance with the law. And by saying that we will review the current regime, what we are specifically promising is a regime that is transparent, meaning that the declarations of the relevant public officers will be published for the benefit of the media and the entire nation. Nothing will be kept in secret. And number two, non-compliance is something that will not be tolerated but punished under the law. So
The
this is
punishment.
what we will do.
What will be the punishment?
The current asset declaration regime.
What will be the punishment?
No, but you see, it's about reviewing the law. So when it gets to that stage, all stakeholders will be consulted. Parliament will do its part in passing that law. The principle that we will be pushing is to ensure that there is transparency, ensure that the new law is enforced, and that those who don't comply are dealt with. And what the president can and will do under the next NDC government is to ensure that any public officer who doesn't comply loses his or her position. That is a starting point. Because
Right.
if you are not ready to be transparent with your own assets, then you cannot be trusted, to uphold principles of integrity and so on. That is why if you look at the 120-day social contract that His Excellency John Mahama announced at our manifesto launch, the number one on that list is to put in place an ethical code of conduct and standards for all his appointees within the first, I believe, 30 days of his administration. He has said it clearly that he's going to exact the highest, form of accountability and ethical conduct from his own appointees. So that, for President Mahama, is the starting point. He's going to lead by example, and he's going to demand the same level of ethical conduct and accountability from his appointees. So if you are an appointee of his and you are not willing to declare your assets in accordance with the new regime we'll be putting in place, then you will have no place in his government.
There was an old PNDC law that gave a jail sentence to any government official that failed to declare their assets as per the law. Is the NDC going to go back to that?
Well, that's not something that has come up yet. But look, we're talking about the review of the current law we have. And so in reviewing a law, stakeholder consultations are important. And the work of Parliament will be very instrumental in the final product that is passed. And so some of these fine details, I believe, will come up when we get to that stage. What is clear at this stage is that we think that the current asset declaration regime is not transparent, it is shrouded in secrecy, and it is not able to cure the mischief it is supposed to cure. Right. And so we want to bring transparency to it and want to ensure total compliance by all public officers. And so details about whether or not there will be custodial sentence for those who breach it and all that are not things that I can speak to now because they are not contained in the manifesto. But I want to believe that when we get to that stage, the whole nation will consider it and Parliament will consider it.
Okay.